Welcome to DC Trending News, the leading news channel about world political events. Today's news: panicked Putin appoints a obese 67-year-old retired general to head forces in Ukraine after most of his best and most battle-hardened top commanders were killed in the war. Putin has brought an obese retired general out of retirement to take command of the armed forces in Ukraine after another round of purges among top commanders led him to break the camel's back. The 67-year-old, 20-kilo General Pavel was recalled from his comfortable life in the Moscow suburbs and told to put on his specially made army uniform and go to the front lines in eastern Ukraine. He will now take command of Russian special forces operating in the region after the unit's former commander was seriously injured in an artillery attack. A veteran of the Soviet Union's ill-fated invasion of Afghanistan in the 1980s and a member of the Russian special forces, General Pavel has let himself go a lot since his retirement 5 years ago. It is said that he eats 5 meals a day and washes it all down with a liter of vodka. Since returning to duty, he has had to have a special uniform made and must wear 2 sets of body armor to protect his upper body. A senior intelligence official told the Daily Star Sunday last night, Putin is about to break the camel's back. Most of his best and most battle-hardened senior commanders have been killed or injured in the fighting in Ukraine, so he is reduced to sending second-rate officers to the front who don't last very long. Putin is like a mafia boss whom no one can refuse to obey. When a retired general receives a message from Putin saying that Mother Russia needs you to fight in Ukraine, there is not much you can do. Thanks to sanctions, there is now an escape from Russia. Despite yesterday's capture of the key town of Severodonetsk, it has been reported that Putin has sacked his most important general in Ukraine, reportedly because of the glacial pace at which the Russian army is proceeding with its annexation of the Donbass. The dismissal of General Alexander Dvornikov, who is rumored to be a drunkard and distrusted by his officers, would be another major shakeup in Putin's command structure and an expression of the dictator's frustration with the state of his war in Ukraine, which he thought would be successfully concluded within 4 days. Dvornikov, known as the Butcher of Aleppo, for destroying Syria's largest city from the air in 2015 and turning it into a bombed-out husk, would be the 7th general Putin has sacked since early June, with 14 casualties, according to the British Ministry of Defense. The Russian High Command is said to have removed a number of high-ranking officers from key leadership positions in Ukraine since the beginning of June. Commander of the Southern Group of Forces, Dvornikov, who is likely to be the operational commander-in-chief of the Russian army in Ukraine, is reported to have been removed along with Colonel General Andrei Serdyukov, commander of the Airborne Forces, AFL. Dvornikov will reportedly be replaced by Colonel General Sergei Surovikin as commander of the SGF. The army group comprises the main forces of the Russian army trying to conquer and occupy Ukrainian territory. Surovikin's career has been marred by allegations of corruption and brutality for more than 30 years. The Defense Ministry adds, according to Rob Lee, a respected war scholar who teaches at King's College London and elsewhere, Surovikin has been imprisoned twice in his career, once for allegedly selling weapons illegally, and once for leading a military column during the August 1991 coup that killed 3 protesters in Moscow. These criminal records were an issue when he was put in charge of the military police. Several sources claim that Putin personally oversees wartime decisions and fires commanders he deems inadequate. The dismissal of Serdyukov, the head of the airborne units, would indicate that he was held responsible for the poor performance and high casualties of the Russian airborne units, especially in the initial operations around Kiev. Serdyukov was apparently blamed for the failure of the operation to capture Hostomel airport near Kiev on the 24th of February, the first day of the war, in which elite Russian airborne troops, WDV, were decimated in several failed attacks. These soldiers, among Putin's most highly trained, were systematically annihilated by the Ukrainian defenders, who operated in greater numbers and with far greater competence than the Russians had expected. In total, up to 14 Russian generals are reported to have been killed during the invasion of Ukraine, although this number is disputed. Russia does not release information on the high-ranking officers lost. Confirmed Russian generals include Major General Anton Simonov, 55. Who was killed in an attack on a Russian command post near Kharkiv, and Lieutenant General Andrei Mordvichev, who was killed in Kherson on the 19th of March, Major General Oleg Dmitriev, 47, commander of the Army's 150th Motorized Rifle Division, died in fighting in the besieged city of Mariupol, while Major General Vitaly Gerasimov, 45, was killed outside the eastern city of Kharkiv on the 7th of March. Major General Andrei Kolesnikov, commander of the Kantemirovskaya Armored Division, was killed in fighting on the 11th of March, and Major General Andrei Sukovetsky, 47, was killed by a sniper during a special operation on the 3rd of March. In addition, General Magom Tushayev, a leader of Chechen Special Forces, was killed in an ambush near Hostomel. Lieutenant General Yokov Ryzantsev, commander of Russia's 49th Combined Army, was killed in an attack near Kherson, and Major General Vladimir Frolov was killed in action.